The most engaging, impactful, informative, and entertaining talk show ever. Get ready to hear the voices of many local, state, and national artists, musicians, comedians, pastors, athletes, and politicians. It's time for South Florida Live with Jeffrey Brown.
All right, good evening, everyone. Let's talk about the things that matter. Freedom. All right, those that are viewing by Facebook, come on, guys. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Hit the share and like button, if you will. Those that are on Facebook, those on YouTube, please hit the like and share. Let them know, let everyone know that the South Florida Live podcast is on. And let's talk about the things that matter with Joy, the doctor, the reverend, the apostle, the bishop, Joy Jackson. And TB's not with us tonight. Y'all pray for her. We're going to pray for us.
I'ma keep on running because the winner don't quit on themselves.
All right, it's that time. It's that time. It's that time. Hey, listen, come on, join us on tonight. Hey, before we do, I just want to make this quick announcement. Put it in your calendar, please. Put it down. Put it in your alert in your calendar. It's the Get Out the Vote rally. Get Out the Vote rally. Thursday, October the 10th. Thursday, October the 10th at 6 p.m. from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And it's at the New Birth Baptist Church Cathedral of Faith International, 2300 Northwest 135th Street, Miami, Florida. That's Thursday, October 10th. Educated, motivated, and participated. Let's go. It's going to be some folks that's there is going to share some information, vital information with you on this event. At this event, you don't want to miss it. So it's the Get Out the Vote rally on Thursday, October the 10th, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. 6 to 8, not that long. So let's get there on time, get what we got, and let's get fired up, y'all. Let's get fired up about this thing, because the election will be here before you know it, and we need to be ready. Yes, we do. Regardless of what's going on, we got to be prepared. We got to be ready to whatever may come out of this election, if you will. Yes, let's do that. Hey, listen, it's that time. And look who's with us tonight. Yes, it's the one, it's the only, it's the reverend, it's the doctor, it's the apostle, it's the bishop, Joy Jackson. Hey, good evening, my sister.
You need to stop. Hi, how are you? I have my vote shirt on tonight. Hey, it's that time. You got to vote, people. You got to vote. You got to do it. You got to take everybody to the polls. You got to take everybody. I don't care. What is the last day to register people to vote?
October. Hold on. Last day to vote. Last day to register is October something.
Okay. So that's it. We're gonna have to do what we need to do. We have to do what we need to do. God knows we do.
Yes. In-person local election office, October the 7th. Online, October the 7th. That's the deadline. October the 7th. October the 7th. So you don't have that much time. But that's a couple of weeks. October the 7th. Deadline to register to vote. And I said we were gonna, push it tonight. Yeah, because you need, and this is the other thing, Dr. Jackson, is that a lot of people need to check their registration, see if they're registered.
Right.
You need to
Their
check
voting status. They need to see what their
check their
voting
voting
status.
status. Yes.
Yes,
You
that is
really
so.
need to check their voting status, because you don't want to end up showing up and not being able to vote because they done shifted something, you done moved somewhere and they didn't get your address corrected, and now you show up with one license that's saying one thing and something else is on the. Yes, we need to make sure we take care of that, and go out and really, really push it. And you said something just a few minutes ago, Dr. Jackson, that you told them, you said, hey, make sure get everybody, your cousin them, your auntie them, your god kids that's of the age. That's one thing I want to jump at, Doc, before we go any further. Um um this 18-year-old that's walking around here and not registered. And the thing that burns my fire, Doc, is that it's people in their family that know they're not registered and not even trying to register them.
Something the Word of God have stated, and that we ought to educate our children and stop waiting for somebody else to do it.
Right.
The Jews, they educate, they teach them everything they need to know at home. And when they get to school, they just reiterate what mom and dad have been teaching them at home. School strengthens what have already taken place.
Right.
We don't do that.
Right.
We wait for somebody else to teach our children, when we ought to be the first teachers we are the first educators of our children, whether it's good or bad.
That's so
we
true.
are the first educators.
So
and
true.
they're going to model what we do. They're going to model what we say.
Right.
And if we are living in an environment of complacency, an environment of my vote doesn't count, it doesn't matter if I vote or not, that's not going to encourage our children to do what we need to do. Our vote does matter. It does count. It does. Sometimes it seems like it doesn't, but it does. And our vote is our voice. That's all we have to tell politicians, that I disagree with what you're saying. Because you know what, Elder? Many politicians, they don't speak for me. They are speaking for the governor. They're speaking for what he wants done, for his agenda. They're not speaking for the common person in Dade County, Broward. They're not. They are not. If that was so, these bills that are being passed, they would not be passed. There are so many people that are against what the politicians are passing, but they are yet not going out to vote these people out. We got to vote these people out. We got to drive them out. We got to drive them out. We got to drive them out, because they're not going. They're not going willingly. We're gonna have to drive these people out with our vote, and that's the bottom line. That's just the bottom line.
And you're so right. And what really gets me with that is, Doc, that when you see that, that shit shows the lack of interest and the lack of drive that the parents have. So it makes you wonder, even if they're going to vote.
Right.
You have an 18-year-old that's not registered to vote, and you're not taking the opportunity to have that teaching moment with that individual, with that child, about voting, how important it is to vote, how important it is because it's not about our life, it's our rights. Our rights about to be disappeared and taken away. I don't care what some folks are, there's some people out there saying that ain't the case. All right, just sit idly by. And I listen, I'm not one of the most religious, believe in God Negroes that's here, but but I still go back to when what he said about faith without works is dead.
It's
We
right.
still got to put. I trust God. I trust
Glory.
God. I believe God
Amen.
is
Amen.
gonna make a way out of no way. I believe God has it, that He has His hand and He's watching and He has His hand on this election. It may not look like He does, but that's most of the time in some of our situation that we're going through. I mean, I've been going through some stuff, and it may not, and it don't look like God is there and God is paying attention. God is hearing my prayers, but every time, every now and then, just right in the nick of time, God comes and shows Himself to be true, and we understand that. But there's still some things for us to do here on earth that we can do to make things better, because God, some things he sits there and laugh at us, I believe, Doc, because He's like, why are you praying to me about that? That's, you can do that yourself.
That's right.
That's just something that you can take care of, that
That's
you
right.
can do. I always remember my pastor always make this example about people about the Holy Spirit, and when you get to the organ and you want to play the organ, but they ain't take no lesson, but you gonna trust God to do this. I believe God just gonna give me the gift to play the organ, and it's possible, but but there's just something God said, okay, I'll help you with the knowledge of you going to take some lessons, and I'll help you, with them lessons. But just sit there and talk about, okay, God, here it is. I trust you, and I just start playing, and I'm playing chords and everything. No, stop it. You got to put some work in it.
You do.
Just
You do.
stop it.
You do. The Bible says we have not because we ask not. And our ask is our vote. We have to vote. Then there's some people of various, religious denominations or religious orders that don't believe in politics. But Jesus, He was a priest, He was a prophet, and He was a king. Now you tell me, and if He's a king, then He has a government. The Bible said the government is upon His shoulders. So if He's a king and He has a government, the government indicate politics. That there is something that He's ruling over. Therefore, that just squashes that little statement for me, because a king, you are not a king without a kingdom. You will have a kingdom. So we need to really reiterate. And I saw something someone just sent across the text, that life of people of color, of African Americans, not always as free as the young people think it is, and that's true. That is true. People died.
Yeah.
People were killed because of their belief of the vote. People, Medgar Eggers, he was killed because of his fight for voting rights. And then you have, we all know about Martin Luther King and what he did, but there were others.
Yeah, that was plenty of others.
Yes.
That fought. I mean, I don't think John Lewis left here. He's passed away. But the fight that he fought, just the drive that he had trying to make sure voting rights was heard and was on the top, and get them, the John Lewis voting right. I don't think we should let that die. We shouldn't just sit idly by and allow that to die. He fought. He went through his trials and tribulations. Getting beat at the Pettus Bridge. He's gone through it. That bloody Sunday, he's gone through it. And even that, John Lewis could have went in the corner and just got quiet, but he didn't do it. He didn't do it. He made voting rights his priority. He made voting rights his life. And I don't think I think we should honor him by making sure that we are registered voters and everybody is registered to vote. And you're right, Gwendolyn. Our kids see it now as they don't see the free. They see it just as free. They don't see that because of what our forefathers, what happened before them, the generation before them allowed them to have some of this freedom. They don't see that part. But once again, I go back to those parents of having that teachable moment. But we're not having that teachable moment, Dr. Jackson, like we had when we were growing up. A lot of the parents now don't want to talk about it. They're not that engaged in it. Like they should. And then some of them now they just happy to just be happy.
Yes, I grew up in a home with one parent, and I saw the sacrifices that my mother made. I saw the sacrifices when she would always go vote. Always. That was her priority. So coming up, watching her do it, she didn't have to tell me. I automatically registered to vote. And when you know that people bled and died, and then they had to have this jar to count how many whatever marbles was in a jar in order to be able to vote. Then they had to pass a test that some of them couldn't pass. They couldn't pass the test of how many marbles was in the jar either, but they played that upon us. And then at one point, women could not vote. And you had people, they would beat people trying to get to the polls to vote. And now we have the right and the freedom to vote. And even now, they are trying to, with all these voting, oh my God, what are they doing? They are trying to disallow people to vote. They're making voting so hard now. You can't even give people a bottle of water in line. Yep. If they're in line, if the elderly are in line, the people that are working in the voting area cannot even bring an elderly a chair to sit down in if there's a line outside. It is against the law. DeSantis have made it against the law to even pass out food to people that are waiting in the hot sun, to give them water and something to eat. They made it against the law to even do that. If you don't have your own chair, if you don't bring your own food, I don't know what happens if I want to share a bottle of water with somebody that's in line, and that's a violation. That's against the law. Come on, people of God. Come on.
But that's what the those in higher places, authorities in higher places are trying to put down on us. And we can't listen. I was thinking about it the other day. We've overcome so much. We've overcome so many things. And I just believe this is one of those moments. This is one of them times that we will overcome it. But we got to put in plan now. They've been planning for a while about this. So now we have time. We still have time, people. We still got time to put in action and prepare. Prepare yourself for those long lines. Prepare yourself and make sure that you have something to bring. And I don't think it's a problem, Doc. If I got a lunch bag and you in front of me and you feeling thirsty, I give you a bottle of water.
It should not be anything wrong with that, but they have made it against the law that you cannot pass water and food out while you're in that line. You like organizations will come and give out water and give out food.
Right. So we know, right, and we know they're not allowing that. That's why I say we have to come prepared.
Yes.
We, those that are going to vote, that like to stand in the line, that don't like to do early voting, because I just have some friends, they'll tell me straight out, no, I like to be in the line. Really? No, I like to be lineless. I like to be lineless. Everything is cashless, and I like to be lineless. I don't like being in line, so I'll do even mail-in ballot. I'm going early voting. But you got some folks that just love to be out in the midst of the people, and God bless you with that one. But when you do, go prepared, because the lines are gonna be long. They're gonna be long. So if they're gonna be long, they know you trust me. They're gonna try and make it as uncomfortable as for black. And this their mindset. I believe their mindset is that we're gonna make it as comfortable as we can for them color folks. And that way, some of them ain't gonna deal with it. Some of them, hopefully, some of them go home. Some of them ain't gonna want to follow up with it. Some of them ain't gonna want to stand in them line. And some of them talking about they can't get no water. They so used to people coming up giving them free water. They ain't coming. They ain't coming. And that's what they're hoping to happen. But we cannot give in to Satan. We cannot give into that evil mindset that they have, that they're trying to do greater than us, greater than he that's in the world.
Right.
Yeah. So we got to have the mindset of greater. We got to have the mindset of greater. Now, there's some things. Best way to do is mail-in ballot. Yeah, and if you can do mail-in ballots, do mail-in ballots. And my thing is, I'm still on the drive of my seniors, of my senior saints, those that have the mail-in ballots. I'm planning on picking them up, and making sure they walk up in there, because you can't collect them now anymore. He stopped that because I was having a good time going around collecting all my seniors.
But you can put them in the mailbox. Can't you put them in the mailbox?
I can't. They have to physically do it themselves.
Really?
Yes. They have to do it. I can't go around and collect them like I did before and put them in the mailbox. That individual who signed it and did it, they have to physically put it in them.
Well, for this last election, my grandson took mine.
Oh, he took yours.
Yes.
Oh, now when I was told that they can't do it, maybe they thought it was his.
No, he had two. One of my members is a clerk, and she's the one that told me that he could do it.
Okay, so would we be able to do it for this election?
I don't know, but for the primaries,
see, they're gonna have people, right, Ms. Brown? They're gonna have people monitoring those mailboxes now.
The federal mailboxes,
the election mailbox.
Put them in the mailbox. Just take them to the post office and drop them in the mailbox. You have people.
Oh, you taking them to the I don't want to deal with postal.
Oh, okay, because a lot of people not dealing with postal.
Yeah, a lot. I don't want to deal with postal. Postal is going to be so slow and backed up and ugly. Don't even take that chance. So I'm telling y'all now. This is coming from me. This ain't coming from Doc. I'm telling you. Do not put your mail-in ballot in the post office. Do not do it, because it ain't no telling. Ain't no telling where it's going to end up at. And what it's going to do, because see, this is stuff is happening in some other states, Doc. I don't know if you know, you got some vigilantes that's watching post mail trucks, and they're stopping heisting mail trucks to get the ballots.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. So now you got folks that's going to be monitoring the mailbox. Also, there in some states, you got some people with guns. They're standing at the polls with guns, trying to intimidate folks, from voting. This is the stuff that's happening, and this is what we're saying, y'all. We have to prepare ourselves for anything that they're trying, because they're trying to play the tricks. They already got, them passed it where all ballots got to be hand counted in Georgia.
Yes.
Other states. Yeah.
Right.
That's crazy.
And with that, they know how slow that process is going to be.
Yeah.
They know that they have people that can not certify. They don't have to certify the election in Georgia. These three people that Trump is hauling out the names out, and what a wonderful job they are doing to make sure the election is not rigged. Yes, they are trying to slow this process to a crawl, because Georgia is in play, and they are doing everything they can. When you have a super majority, when you have this, And I know Stacey Abrams stated, she was on Good Morning America day before yesterday, I believe. Either yesterday or day before. Okay. And she said that Kemp could stop this thing that they're doing in Georgia. And she's calling, calling on Kemp to stop it. No, he's not. He's not. Even though he and Trump at odds. Trump don't like him. He don't like Trump.
Yeah, but he's
the bottom line is he's a Republican. Yeah. Point blank. Bottom line.
So he's a Republican. So he's gonna go along with it. Yeah. And the thing is, now we won't know. Some of the states that's doing that, you won't know you won't know until probably the next day or day after, 2 days later.
Right. And this is what they're banking on. They are banking on that. This is something that right now, we're talking about voting. United Teachers of Day, we are in this election count against these other people. And we had Tony was up there in Tallahassee. Joe Minor was there. I thought I saw Mindy there as well at one point. Not sure, so I'm not sure, but I thought I saw her. And what they did, they went to Tallahassee to watch them count the vote. But the storm came. Now listen to this now. The storm. So now you have all these ballots. They are saying that's in a secure room, that only 2 people have the key to the secure room with all of these ballots. Now, how do you make that room secure? Because if it's a lock, somebody know how to get into it. Don't tell me how secure. A thief know how to open a lock. So what I believe President Collins said, that they taped it up, signed the tape to try to make sure that the tape and the ballots will not be tampered with, because now with that storm head to Tallahassee, they had to come back home. Right. They came back yesterday. Right. So all the voting has been stopped.
Right.
It reminded me of when Bishop was running for mayor, I believe, and he was winning till the lights went off.
Yeah.
And when the lights came back on, he had lost. Come on. Excuse me.
Yeah, it was some things. It was a lot of tampering going on with that.
A lot of it.
Running for commissioner, yeah.
Yeah, it was commissioner. Okay. Mm-hmm. So when the lights came back on, he lost.
Yeah.
So who's to say that when they go back, somebody got had the key? No.
Right.
There's so much.
It's a lot. It's a lot. So we got to really, we got to keep our eye on it, because they are trying so hard, because the dude is saying it, y'all. This is the thing that the dude is saying. He said, I don't need no more votes. I don't need no more votes. And this is his message in the middle of his message is, I don't need no more votes. I just need y'all to watch it. I just need y'all to watch it and take care and make sure those ballots ain't all counted. That's what I need. I don't need no more votes. I just need y'all to protect the ballot. I'm like, dude, are you kidding? And I don't know. Anyway, hey, listen. There's an area that I want to talk about. That it hit me, and I'm like, wow, the ladies got to talk about this one. I mean, you got abortion rights, you got reproduction, all this stuff going on with the ladies, with the women, and there's still some ladies, and not just all white. There's some sisters that stand. They're voting for this dude. What's going on? What's the reasoning? What have you heard? Why?
Well, his new thing now is that he's going to protect women. That's his new thing now.
Yeah.
That he's going to protect women. A
pedophile gonna protect women. Help me with that one.
he said he said he's going to protect women, and he also said that women do not have to be afraid anymore once he wins. He also said that you don't have to talk about abortions anymore because he's going to do something with that as well. We all know the man is a bona fide liar. He is certified with degrees in how to lie with a straight face to get what he wants. And he would tell you anything to get your vote. Now, I don't understand why any female, whether black, red, green, or purple, would trust what this man says when you know that when his wife was pregnant, he was with the porn star. When and even after that, he come on. You know women cannot trust him. And this is why he's so afraid of VP Harris, is because of the strength of a black woman. He can't deal with that. He can't shake her. He can't move her. So what he is trying to do is mispronounce her name like that means something. So what? Okay, everybody know what you're talking about. Right. Okay. This man have been found guilty of touching women, guilty of rape, guilty. How can a rapist protect me? His name need to be on the flyer. His picture need to be on the flyer. That when they move in your neighborhood, that you know those pictures of those men that are rapists, and especially when they move in the area around the school, they send the pictures out. Yep. His picture should be on the paper that he's a rapist. But yet and still women would rather trust a rapist. That's what you want. Yeah. And then he's trying to move away from that black guy. Is it Robinson?
He can't dance from Robinson.
That vice,
that's from North Carolina.
Yes. Now he's Mark Robinson. He's trying to kind of step away, but it's too late for that. He can't. They already hooked up together.
You endorsed the dude.
Yes. And you talking women. Why would a black man say that he wish slavery would come back? A black man. They don't know that they'll string him up too.
Not only that, he said he's a black Nazi.
Nazis don't like black people.
He said he's one.
Then Hitler, when Jesse Owens won those gold medals, Hitler got up and walked out the Olympics when he won. When he won those gold medals because he was black, because Nazis have the pure race and African Americans race, our blood is not pure. What does he think that, and where will he go? When they try to send Haitians back to Haiti, you think they're not going to try to send black folk back to Africa? Come on.
I'm just shaking my head at the sisters, and white or black, that would stand with somebody that has been found guilty,
convicted
for treating women in a disrespectful way, and don't even honor those women rights, don't honor women rights, don't want to control your body, want to control what you do and how you do. But you got, regardless of what he say, what he do, and that's just like the black. I told people I'm not even wasting my breath with them anymore. It's only 1%, 1.2%. That ain't gonna fly. So let them stay out there and fend for themselves. So, well, but I was just surprised when I saw that about the women.
There are black women. There are black women that are for Trump. And I heard him say this morning that anybody that don't like him, he don't like them either. Now, what's the black lady name that I can't think of her name that said that you all would be bowing down and kissing his ring until I can't think of her name. But
not Omarosa, not that girl.
Yes. Until she found out that he turned against her. Then all of a sudden she writes a book and gets money and go on all the TV circuits to say things,
foolishness. That's foolishness. She just go on and talk foolishness.
But there are people out there, Elder Brown, and I don't get it. I'm telling you, I don't get it. And also another population of people that are moving, and I know some of the Hispanics, but the younger Hispanics now are going toward this mega stuff. Yeah. And that's because what I've been saying all along, they think they're white.
No, of course.
But their parents were immigrants as well. Our grandparents were immigrants. But they were born here, and they think that they're white, and knowing that their last name is Rodriguez or Jimenez or Julio or Jorge Rodriguez.
But some of them darker than me.
Yes, but they think they're white. So now I'm hearing now that there is a younger set of Hispanics that are going mega because they feel that they are white and they are better than their ancestors. Better. And that becomes a problem.
And I often say, okay, y'all left dictatorship and y'all gonna go back up under dictatorship?
They don't see it like that. But somebody need to, I don't know. And then when these people start talking about communism and socialism, that's the part that just gets me with various ethnic groups. Because if it wasn't for socialism, some of these people would not have housing and they would not have food. Because Section 8 and the projects, what do you call that? What do you call it? That's government funded entities. Socialism. Well, I don't know. I don't know what to say else but keep saying the same thing, because faith cometh by hearing and hearing. So we have to keep talking. We cannot stop talking, Elder Brown. We cannot stop. Those that are listening or part of this podcast tonight, we cannot stop talking.
No.
And sometimes it seems like it's falling on deaf ears, but sooner or later something is going to penetrate, and God is going to reveal and show individuals just the true color. I don't know what else that need to be seen for people to see just who this man is and what he represents. He is not for anybody but himself. He used the presidency to make money. Jesus, and folks don't even see that. He don't care. He doesn't care. Listen to this. Wall Street was willing and put in a proposal to be taxed 25%. They say tax us 25%. When he was in office,
white and male. That is all it is about attacking.
He went down to 18%, and now he want to go down to 15%. Taxing them. And they said he's out Wall Streeting Wall Street. Wall Street said, we will, okay, you want to give us a 25% tax? We'll take that.
Right.
He taxed them 18%. Come on, Elder. While we are still struggling and we are paying more taxes, they paying 18% on their money. We pay 20%. The middle class.
Right.
We pay 20%. My paycheck, I pay more in taxes when I look at my check than some people make on their full check. 20%, and the rich and the famous paying 18%. Elder, come on.
Trust me. But if he gets in there, it's gonna be worse than that.
That's what I'm saying.
It's gonna be worse than that.
He wants to take it down to 15% for the rich and the famous. 15%. Kamala is saying 28%. He's taking it down to 15%. They agreed to 25%.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me those folk not going to try to push him in there? They don't have to pay 18% and take it down to 15%, while the middle class is paying 20%. What's fair about that?
Yeah.
And people want to vote for that.
That's why, and that's why I brought up about these policies.
Okay.
You know,
I'm ready to throw this computer right now, this iPad. You done got me mad.
That's the thing that gets me when it comes to the policy. You got one that never stated a policy, and you got another that she's stand. You ask her about it, she gives you answer. Now sometimes she'll dance, but that's a politician.
Yep.
That's a politician. But she at least will she'll give you the breakdown of it, her intake, and then she'll try and give you what she want to do. Some of the stuff she can't, because she's true to Joe Biden. She true blue to Joe Biden.
Right.
And she don't want, and a lot of people are trying to get her to say, well, you know, if I was president, I would do, you know, on some of the stuff that Biden is product, but she won't dance, she won't give into that. And so a lot of people say, oh, well, she's not answering the question. No, she's not going to answer that question because she's not the president. She wasn't able to do some of the stuff. She wasn't able to put in for those. That wasn't her area. But a lot of people want to put her in. But this is my question to you, Doc. Between the two, what are you hearing between those two with their policy stance when it comes to, let's start with economics. I mean the economy. With the economy.
She has a plan. One of her plans, I believe, for new businesses, to give them $50,000.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to start out with new businesses. Also with housing, new homeowners. She's giving them X amount of money to purchase their home. As far as the middle class, her policy is to build the middle class. Now, I kept saying to myself, what about the poor? What about the poor? What about the poor? What about the poor? But if you build the middle class, if you build small businesses are going to hire the poor so that they would have an income. For the homeless now, what they're doing here in Dade County, especially, you know, Overtown, and because they're building up Overtown, so until after a while, you're not going to recognize Overtown. Overtown going to be looking like full Wynwood. I mean, after a while, because they're doing the same thing again, moving people out. And there's a certain area. Well, let me get back to Kamala. These are her policies. Her policies is to build the middle class. And building the middle class, she's talking about businesses, she's talking about homes, and she's talking about building jobs. She's saying that for the billionaires, we're going to tax you 28% so you could pay your fair share of taxes and put back into the economy. Put back. So it's not that she doesn't have one. I have never heard Donald Trump say one time that he's going to help anybody buy a house. I never heard him say how much money he would give to the middle class.
Yeah, because his thing is that his tax law lowered the top personal tax rate from 39.6% to 37% and the top corporate tax rate from 35% to 21%.
That's corporate. What about these
And that's corporate tax rate for companies that makes their production inside the United States.
and then he's talking about, but there are billionaires that their tax rate is lower
Mm-hmm.
than what we pay. And then he wants to do these tariffs. And all the economists saying that these tariffs will increase inflation. Now, President Obama, he incorporated a tariff when China was with this steel production. So with that steel production, he put a tariff on China to stop China from doing what they were doing with the purchasing of steel. So it's not like all tariffs were bad. Obama did that for China, but he wants to do it for everybody. And the economists are saying that this is not going to work. It's not. It's going to make things worse if he would do that. But you can hear him talk. He said tariff. Tariff is a beautiful word. It's the most beautifulest word I've heard, tariff. Tariff is such a beautiful word. And they don't like me to say it, but it's a beautiful word. And I'm going to have a tariff on, all the other countries with putting this tax on. And they said, who's going to consume that cost? But the consumers. Because once you put these heavy taxes on them, do you think their price is not going up? Who's going to pay for that?
Yeah.
We are going to pay. When they put these heavy taxes on these outside entities, who's going to pay? But the prices are going to go up. You think stuff is high now? Let him do what he want to do. Eggs will be $15 and a gallon of milk will be $20. Who's going to consume the price? They're not going to consume that price. We are.
Right.
And we have to think. We have to be better. We have to be better at our studying and who we're going to listen to, and look at something else besides Fox News and TikTok for your information.
And that's what I was telling someone today. I'm like, stop getting your news from Facebook and Instagram, and actually research and find out for yourself. Stop getting talking points from Fox News and CNN and all that. And I'm very, sometimes I do watch MSNBC, but there's sometimes I pull off from them because they start throwing out talking points. But then a lot of times they do back.
But at least they do fact check.
Right.
Why is it that people do not fact check him? And they got mad at the debate because he was fact checked. They were upset.
Saying
it was 3 against 1 because he was fact checked.
Yeah. So in her policies, I'm asking you this question. I don't know if I asked you this before. Which policies would you want her to really establish and bring out more than some of the others?
Education. Of course, I'm a teacher. You see what they're doing with education. You see what they're doing with
But nobody never really bring up the education part.
It's according to what circle you in.
Right. I'm just saying when they're interviewing her or talking to her or whatever, it's either
Well, she have said several times that unions create jobs. She said that several times. She said she is pro-union. And as far as education is concerned, you know that everybody that's read that are right-wing Republicans, they want to control education. They want to control, because it's about money. They want to control how we teach, what we teach. They're still banning books. This banned book week. Books and Books have, you can go on their website to get all the banned books and whatever, but this is what is happening. Policies concerning women's rights. And I heard Stacey Abrams say that it needs to be one voice on women's rights. You heard about that lady in Georgia that died. That she literally bled to death. When she came back to Georgia, the doctors would not touch her. She had a stillborn, the baby was still inside of her, poisoning her body. The sister was bleeding to death. I don't know how many hours they waited until they were giving her a DNC. And by the time her body was being poisoned, Elder Brown, poisoned, because Georgia doctors would not touch this young black lady. They wouldn't touch her. She bled to death. She died. She died on the operating table, in fact. So when they decided to give her the DNC, it was too late. So now they're trying to give her a hysterectomy. They're trying to do this, trying to do that. The girl died. So you're saying that policies need to be, and I know there are state laws and there are federal, whatever, but things like that, it needs to be everybody doing whatever we're going to do. So now with the Supreme Court, you put it back to the states. Then you have all of these governors that have 6 weeks, and most women don't even know if they're pregnant. And I'm not for abortion, so please don't get me wrong. I'm not. But if a woman needs medical care, give her the care that she needs. I do not believe that a woman should get pregnant, have an abortion. Get pregnant, have an abortion. Get pregnant. A woman have a right to her own body. And I believe that. Now I'm a firm believer in that. Every woman have a right to their own body. But when you have these laws and they see the lady dying, they knew she was dying. They knew they wasn't stopping that bleeding. They knew her body was being poisoned. And they're going to wait till the 13th hour when the woman is, come on.
And some of these Republicans are, and I know, especially the clear people, they are being so hypocritical.
You call them clear?
Clear people, yeah. They're being so hypocritical to this abortion thing, because if you were to go through their family records and whatever, all of them, their kids have had abortions. And they don't play, because little Betty Jean come up pregnant. They ain't letting nobody know about that. They taking little Betty Jean to get an abortion.
And they have a doctor that will do it. They have a doctor that will do it.
Yeah. And now you making it like it's just so evil. When you've done it, you were doing it before.
Numerous times.
So now I'm gonna ask you this one, Doc, and then we'll shut down on this one. How do you feel about the policies for Social Security, Medicare, and the retirement age?
That have a knocking one increase in retirement to what 67, 70 years old? Oh God, Jesus, Lord help the church.
Because that's one of the things about supporting raising the retirement age. Do you think they should? I know you don't think they should raise the age. If they did, what should it be? You think?
I don't think they should raise the retirement age. They keep raising it anyway. They should not raise the retirement age. People have worked hard. People have worked for 50, 60 years. Some people started working when they was 15, 16 years old. They worked to try to get to school, work while they were in school, and then work just to live. There's this lady from Channel 6, she called me, she texted me again today to find out, do I know of anybody? So if anybody out there that's working 2 jobs, please, if you could holler at me, because she wants to interview you. She wants to put you on Channel 6. Because it is just so difficult to live, and I can't reiterate it enough, to live in South Florida. We can't afford to live in South Florida. So your Social Security is what you have earned. This is your money. This is your money. It's not like they giving you something. This is tax monies that you have worked for. So what do I feel about it? I think retirement should be like 62. That's me.
62?
Yeah. Yes. Retirement age, what is it now? 65, 67? Mm-hmm. It should be, to me, it should be like 62. 60. But it's not. But when I applied for Social Security. And the people said, you don't want to wait till you turn 70? I said, I might not live till I reach 70. No. I said, no, give my money. I want my money now. And the difference in then and reaching 70 was maybe about $200. It wasn't that much more, $200 or $300. It wasn't that much more. Yeah. I could see if they said they'll give you $1,000 more, but no, it was not. So how do I feel about it? I feel that we need to fight for Medicaid. We need to fight for Social Security. We need to fight for every benefit that's due unto us. Yes, they're trying to stop it. They don't want to give the money. They want to keep the money for themselves. And I don't care what they say. They do not want us to get anything. If they think that we're getting a little bit too much, here come another law and another bill. With DeSantis, he only said 1.5 or 6% to Dade County for teacher salary. Come on.
Yeah. So, okay. Oh, wow. All right. Now, I'm going to ask you this. We're going to close out with this.
And school open tomorrow. I don't believe this. How can they have school open tomorrow in Broward? That don't make no sense.
I think Broward County just shut this down.
Broward is closed and Dade is open. Yeah. And you have people that's working that work in Dade, have children going to school in Broward. Now you're going to have teachers calling in or calling out tomorrow because they don't have anybody to keep their children. What in the world is going on? We right across the street.
Now you know what? You know what? The crazy part about that is that it's reversed, because that used to be us. Broward, y'all used to shut it down, and we used to have to be going to work. I'm like, what the hooter? Come on now. Y'all need to shut these doors down. Ain't nobody going out in that weather. But Broward closed. I think West Palm and Port St. Lucie, I think all of them are shut down. Doc, this is the thing, because I've heard this before, but you got some people that's probably watching that's wavering. They still don't know which way they want to go, because they say they need to know more about her.
What else do they want?
Yeah, I know.
What
so
else? What else can she say?
If there's somebody out there wavering, what would you say to them to get them to understand where their vote should lie?
Okay, this is not a black issue. This is not a white issue. This is not a male issue. This is not a female issue. This is an issue of our freedom, our democracy, our Constitution. The former president wants to be the Constitution. He wants to be able to say it. He wants to be like God. Let it be, and it happens. He's not for the people. He's not you. We had a huge dose of him during COVID. We saw what he did during COVID. We saw those refrigerator trucks full of beautiful people that had died because they did not get the medical attention. You had nurses, you had doctors, you had teachers, you had pastors, choir members, our loved ones, our friends. I think all of us was touched during COVID by what he was doing and saying. He said that he could go on Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and nothing would happen to him. He almost was trying to prove that that was right. I don't know how we benefited during his time of his presidency. I don't see any benefits that occurred. But look at when the Biden-Harris got in office. What did he initiate? He initiated that rescue plan. He started putting monies where his mouth was. He was putting money so that our schools would have what they needed, so that schools could reopen. He put monies that are just now drying up, and this has been since 5 years. That's just how much money that they put into the educational system, just so our children and that we can yet have a job. When COVID came and we were out for some weeks, we still got a check. We got paid. Teachers got paid during COVID when the kids were not in school and prior to going virtual. We were still getting paid. People, we have to realize and understand something, that this man is not for us. When President Biden and that Biden-Harris took control, they put money out there so that we can continue to live. He made sure that jobs were re-implemented, that restaurants began to open, people were able to get back to work. Trump, he said, get a bottle of bleach and get an IV and start shooting bleach in your arm. And I don't know how he's gonna get the sun in your system, but it's as different as night and day. It's just different. Kamala Harris, she's a prosecutor. She know how to handle those things that are wrong. She has sat at the briefing desk when the president was briefed. Do you all know that Trump used pictures for his briefing? That he didn't read the briefing, they gave him pictures? That was our president. Do we want to go back to that? That he didn't even read the briefings. He looked at the pictures of the briefings and didn't read what the documents were saying. So I say it's a clear choice. It's a clear. It's to me, there is no choice. It's clear.
One-sided. Yeah. It's just clear. You don't need to know no more than what she's already presenting, because I said before, you got one that's showing presidential standards, and you got one that's showing a path of destruction. Now you make your decision.
Yeah.
Your mother's them taught you to you know the difference from wrong and right. So you got one that's at least showing presidential standards, but then you got one that's showing a path of destruction, miscord, and just chaos. And if you can't make a decision from that, I'm God bless you. I'm done with that. Thank you, Doc. Appreciate you joining us on this evening.
Thank you, Elder. Right, Reverend. Yeah. Right, Reverend.
All right. Thank you. You're welcome, Bishop. You're welcome. We praying for our friend, our sister, TB.
Yeah,
she let them old kids get a hold of her and spread them bad germs on her.
And see, and they send us to school whenever we have to go. And a lot of our children come to school sick and do not have a mask.
Yeah.
And now they're sick. And now they want to send us out in the storm, Elder. They want us to go out. They want us to go out in the storm. Where's the protection for the teachers?
They don't care. I'm surprised. I'm really surprised because normally that's Broward County making that late decision. Y'all get it. Y'all get it somewhere around, what time is that? 9. Y'all get it by 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Y'all get the alert.
Sent something out. I got a text said they already sent it out.
Yeah.
That they sent a message that we're open tomorrow.
Yeah, they'll change that. They're gonna change that before you know it. Because that's normally Broward County. Normally Broward County is the last one that's gonna make that decision. They be shutting it down. And we're like, well, hey, they shutting it down. We need to shut it down too. But but thank you, Doc. We're praying for you. Hey, listen, we're praying, we're keeping all our family and friends that's up in the Panhandle, up in Tallahassee, in that area. I talked to some of my family this morning and just to see their status. Some were thinking about leaving. So I don't know. I'm gonna call them later on and see and text them and see what's going on. Have they made a decision?
It's a huge storm. It's a huge storm.
Yeah, it is. It's a huge storm, and they're thinking that it's gonna be Category 4 tomorrow when it landfall. Hopefully, it's not. I really hope that by the time it hit land is went down to a 2 or whatever. But because I had some friends, they were saying they were going to Orlando. I'm like, going to Orlando, that ain't gonna work because Orlando gonna be bad weather there too. Yeah, they're getting bad weather there too. So might have to just ride it out this time. Ride on, Ken Jesus. Ride on, Helen. What her name? Helen? Yeah. Just ride Helen out. Ride Helen ride. Okay, so we're gonna keep them lifted up in my prayers and hope that everything works out. Thank you, Doc. Appreciate you. Always a pleasure. All right, love you. Hey, listen, you've been locked into the South Florida Live podcast. We've been talking about the things that matter with Dr. Joy Jackson on this evening. And so I want to tell everybody, thank you for joining us on this evening. Appreciate you hanging out with us today. So, hey, once again, don't forget, get out the vote rally. Get out the vote rally Thursday, October the 10th, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at New Birth Baptist Church, Cathedral of Faith International, 2300 Northwest 135th Street, Miami, Florida. You need to be there because you will get, there's going to be a lot of information given. As you see, music, food trucks, giveaways, and much more on that night. So be a part. Set that in your calendar and be there on that night. Thank you. Once again, God bless you. God keep you is my prayer. And as I always say, hey, y'all, I'll pray for you. And I need y'all to keep praying for me. And we're going to watch God change things. God bless you.
Email your idea for show topics to the South Florida Live Show at gmail.com. Thank you for tuning in to South Florida Live with your host, Jeffrey Brown.